Okay, all right, ladies and gentlemen, today is the 11th of Feb. Now it's 4 minutes to 8 local time. I did some nice videos today, nice predictions in cable, euro dollar, and this week I did a lot euro Aussie, I did dollar yen, nice live trade there. Um, yeah, I just took profits on my trades. So as you know, I put my live trades here in the forum. And I already have a nice collection there. This is on the SMEFX website. So Euro Swissy coming nicely, and dollar Swissy and dollar yen already hit the target, and Euro and Aussie as well. So I closed these trades as a basket. Nice. So here you can see, exactly the time, the date, my predictions, how it ended, and it worked pretty well, as you can see for the ones who thought this. What I will do in the future, I have another idea I showed in another video, because obviously those predictions are nice. It would be nice if there's a way to also show you how I personally trade on the manual side with different entries and exits. As you know, trades are not a binary game, it's all about when do you also enter multiple times at which prices, how you deal with trade baskets, etc. So I have some ideas there. Okay, so in this video I wanted to give a little bit of a market overview on the higher time frames. I should do that now and then, just to give a general analysis across the board. So let's start with Eudora. Obviously, please watch the videos from today. I've documented the Lasso principle move today from the high back down, and the video shows you on an hour chart what's going on there. So this is basically now a few hours later zoomed out on the 4-hour chart. So after they took the upper stop and came back into the range and took the lower inner range stops, they are now so the price is a bit stuck between longies and shorties, as you can see. So since it's rather late and the volume goes down, it can be that it goes flat for a few hours, time and range principle. So base case would be flat a few hours, little head fake up, and then inner range move down. That would be the base case, okay? So flat price action in a rather tight range. Then at night or in the early morning, a head fake up, doesn't need to be a lot of pips, and then a down move. Let's see where that happens. And I've given a more detailed analysis in the video before, which is still pretty valid. Okay, let's look at cable. So cable, I have shown before the tolerance principle and how, as predicted, the price went down as expected despite the shorties. Please watch the video from today. It's very nice to learn advanced concepts, okay? That I called it advanced scenario, and the prediction was correct again, okay? So overall it came down, but it did sharp pullbacks, all right, which you can see better in the video with the hour chart, because it had to price in the shorties in the way, but those shorties were within the dumb money tolerance. Please watch it. Here on the for our chart, I like to use Heiken Ashit candle, so you can't see it as well, because this is more the big picture. So the predictions are also still valid actually, even though I did a little scalp short and took profit. It can do sharp pullbacks, but come down overall. That's still base case there right now. E.g. Euro Pound, obviously, look, if within the next 15-20 hours Euro Dollar comes down and cable also comes down but does pullbacks up, That gives a general rather bearish bias on EG, and when you look, there's some dumb money long is still in the market and empty below, so that makes sense. So general outlook rather bearish. This here looks like some kind of fake support. 1, 2, 3, 4 would be a nice target also, you know. So base case would be up and then down, taking out this target level here against the dumb money long is in its own market. However, as you can imagine, because this price was out of range, came all the way down from 0.9 to 7 around that level. This is an expensive entry down, so I'm not so keen on doing such trades if I don't get a good entry on the higher time frame. So that I could short, but then, you know, I would get a still an expensive price in the grand scheme of things. So I'd rather skip those kind of trades really. Okay, let's also look at right, dollar yen. You remember I did a nice trade call this week, I think, which wasn't difficult really. Was a short against the longest, you remember? That was a nice trade. And today did a trade called long up, which was a more complex trade. I put it as a trade call on the forum. I didn't make a video about it, and I will not explain that in this particular video, but it's also a bit more advanced setup. But now after it went down as predicted and up as predicted, it's a bit neutral. I wouldn't be surprised if it takes the upper empty here and then normalizes, but that's not something I would trade at this stage. So from my perspective, it's rather neutral. I don't think we have any major news on the Asian sides, neither. Okay, let's look at pound yen. Also not high bias, but as you can see, it is rather bearish with a little bit of a dumb money switch going on from shorties to longies. The high has been cleaned with this move, and there's some longies above the price, so even if it does a fish move up or something, the base case would be rather normalization move down eventually, especially if more longies come in over the next 10-15 hours. So if longies come in, I may short pound yen down, depending when that happens and whether I will be asleep or not. Okay. Let's also look at Australian dollar. It's a complex causality here as well. I did a little scalp short there as well, as you can see from my trade call, which I took profit on now. But generally speaking, looking at the forward chart, look, okay, so let's go through a few points, because it's also good to learn. Let's start with the basics. This high here from Jan has been cleaned, obviously, right? Overall, there is no strong bias regarding the dumb money flow, and obviously we have some kind of 4-hour reversal, mean reversion dynamic going on. But even if the price comes down, as you can see here, there's shorty, so that would be natural support. So base case would be, for example, goes down, takes out this MTM accumulation of the longies, and then there's a pullback up, something like that. Especially if more longies come in the next 15 hours or so. So if more longies come in, some kind of down money switch after the high has been cleaned, down move into the inner range stop, that will be a base case. Complex scenario, so if you're a beginner, you have to skip this for sure. And here it's also important to watch the lower time frames and to see what the dumb money is doing and where the short-term stops are as well, by the way. But generally neutral to bearish. If some longies come in and short-term stops are close in reach, I may do another short scalp. If not, then not. Simple as that. Okay. Right. Let's also look at. Okay, this is Kiwi. Kiwi dollar on a forward chart. Look, this is a nice example. The price came down and it gets stuck here. Why? Here's your answer. Just below 0.7222. It's a shorty nest. So the time range principle, pricing in principle. The smart money doesn't want to just let the price drop, because then those shorties would get into profit. Understood? Come on, that's simple, guys. Now you would say, well, why not buy against those shorties? Well, not impossible, but I think a pullback and down move is the base case, and especially if euro dollar comes down, it would drag down Kiwi as well. So here again, shorter time frames are more important, and this is not a trade setup. Okay, this is not enough to just place a trade. We wait for high base or medium bias setups, and then we trade. Otherwise, we don't risk our hard-earned cash. We are selective as causality traders. Okay, since we're here and since we look at higher time frames, why not have a look at the day chart, euro dollar, just to give you an idea how this looks on the higher time frames as well. And obviously the subscribers have access to the hour charts, day charts, 4-hour charts, 30-minute charts, and on the MK live stream they can also see live selected markets on the hour charts. So look, as I've shown in another video, you know, they do of course stop hunting around those moving averages on the high time frames. As you can see, look, with this up move, they cleaned the, which one is that one? The 100-day moving average. Excuse me, the 50-day moving average. So the short-term one they already took. So the 20-day moving average they cleaned. The 50-day moving average they just cleaned. So, and now with the stops below, which confirms my bearish analysis from before, as I've shown you. Yeah, and when I look at the hour chart, I can see right now that actually the net dumb money switch indicator shows an increase in the dumb money longies. So that looks bearish. So my prediction on euro dollar in the short term is bearish. Should come down and go for those empty stops. Okay, even though if you just would see that chart and nothing else, you could come to a wrong conclusion and think, well, shorties, I buy. Obviously, don't do that. Yeah, it's not that simple. Even though you may say, wait a second, look, shorties, price went up. Shorties, price went up. Yeah, but you know, you need to understand the principles of the smart money algos. Okay, today I've demonstrated and captured the Lasso principle in euro dollar, and before I have documented all kinds of principles. I have playlists, and what I should do, I should update those playlists, and the more educational videos I should actually add. We'll do that at some point, I promise, if I have the time. I have some other videos in the making, more fundamental videos about, you know, asset classes and so on. I think I should also cover all the topics, give you a complete overview and stuff. So that has to be done first. Maybe at the weekend I do it, depending on my time. So, okay, understand that, you know, with the things I've already shown you today, the bias is rather bearish. So the fact that we overall have a bit more shorties, let's say, over a week is not relevant, okay? It's relevant that the price cleaned the highs, took upper stops, and longies are right now getting lured into the market, which you can see in the lower time frames better. Of course, on the high time frame, you still see here, you see the green nest. You still see there's an actual resistance, not a fake resistance. So base case would be, even if it does, so what I said before is still valid, yeah? Flat, head fake up, inner range move down within the next 20 hours or so. And there may be possibly a trade opportunity. What I like is if there's a head fake up and longies come in, I like to short back down to the range. That would be a nice trade setup. So the market causality enables you to really analyze, identify the potential scenarios, and then place trades. As simple as that. Now, after you did your homework and you studied it a bit, it's no rocket science, ladies and gentlemen, please. Yes, it is some work you need to put in. I mean, come on, you're competing with the world's top algos and traders here. It's no joke. But as I said before, if you have an average IQ and a lot of determination, and you put in the hours, you will get there. And then at some point, it just becomes second nature. It gets into your blood, and you learn when there is like easy money to make and when you just stay on the sidelines. And that's it. Trading is still a game of probabilities, and still you will not get every single trade right, and still sometimes your timing will be off. But that's no problem, because all you do is you just implement your risk management plan. And I will actually also explain that in another video later on, where maybe I show you how personally on the manual side I trade, and how I plan my entries, exits, position sizing. This is essential. Yeah, it's not primarily about entries and exits, really. It's about having the confidence that your general analysis and trade idea is correct, and how you manage it. That's a whole topic on its own. I don't want to get into that right now. Okay. All right. Maybe let me cover that as well. While we are here, I've done a video about this. Euro Aussie. Someone in the forum has said, Euro Aussie will go up. I said no, it will go down, and as you can see, I was right. Not because I'm a genius or something, but because the bias was clear. Yeah, the money long is pouring into the market again and again and again. So, as predicted, it just came straight back down to the low. Watch the video if you're interested in that particular scenario. And look, it's moving towards the stop here. So again, okay, let me emphasize, don't try to replicate the causality in your own way. That wouldn't work. If it would be that simple, you know what I mean, I wouldn't even offer this service, really, because what's the point? To really achieve something like this here, you need loads of filters. Okay, this is a complex process, which obviously is not disclosed neither, because that's really technical stuff. So I think we offer something of very, very good value, and take advantage as long as it's there. You know what I mean? So yeah, and our friend, he was saying, well, the ratio of longs to shorties is like 60% shorties. No, okay, that money was long, clearly, so the price came down. Okay, good. It's fun to do those videos, predictions, really fun. I try to challenge myself and have some other things in the making. I think you're going to like them as well. Yeah, and all I can say is, if you're serious about this game, don't try to show up with a knife to a gunfight, okay? You don't come with a naked chart and try to place trades. Study what's going on in the market, okay? And become a better manual trader, do the right analysis. You subscribe, make use of everything I publish. If you can't afford anything, and you're, for example, a student and so on, still there's so much you can use for free. I mean, I published so many things for free. Just follow the channel, study, try to learn. If you have questions, please post them below the videos. I will read them and try to explain them. Okay, that's for free, obviously, so please take advantage of this if you have particular questions. Yeah, so I didn't show all markets in this video, but I think that's enough for now. I wish you all the best. Goodbye.